Well, hello everyone. My name is Ruby Pichel, and today I'd like to talk to you about the infinite possibilities with access consciousness. If you've never heard of access consciousness, go to accessconsciousness.com. You will find many different things. I will put the link down below. I've been working with Access now for the past 3 years. I've known it a little bit longer, did some sessions and access bars. And you can find out all about access bars on the website. But I started working with it like 2.5 years ago. And it literally changed my life. And in this video, I'd like to share with you the infinite possibilities with access consciousness. And I'll give them to you in like 4 tools that have really helped me. So let's dive right in. The first one is there's a definition of consciousness, which is consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. So when you think about it, that consciousness includes everything. That means that all the energies, everything that is there, that is available to us. We need to be willing to receive that, or at least see it or acknowledge it. You don't exclude anything. And you judge nothing. So if there's a way that people are in life, let's say there is some other type of belief, or there's a religion, right? There is no wrongness in believing in something. The thing that is usually something that is not really working is that different opinions or different beliefs go into the rightness of what that is. And sometimes they don't leave any space for anything else. So anything that doesn't fit that box is wrong. It's being judged as that's not the right way to go about it, or that's not the right way to handle it. And that's the thing that I love about access consciousness, is where you literally include everything and judge nothing. So if there are other things that you'd like to include in your life that don't necessarily are part of access consciousness, you can still look at it when you know that it's true for you. So the second one, never conclude. Always ask a question. When you go into conclusion, or you go into a definition, that's where you make it smaller. That's why you contract it. And whenever you go into a conclusion, you actually exclude all the other possibilities that are there. So instead of concluding something, always ask a question. What's right about this I'm not getting? What else is possible here? Or maybe just a simple question, like if something is up in your world and you have no idea what's doing there, you have no idea why this is showing up. Instead of asking, why is this showing up? Just ask, so what is this? Because the thing that shows up, the thing that comes to the surface, almost never is, well, actually, it never is that what it really is. It always shows up as something that you don't expect. It's something that you don't recognize. So when you ask the question, what is this? And then there are a couple of questions that you can ask after that, like, what is this? What do I do with it? Can I change it? And if yes, how do I change it? And the question, can I change it? That has to do with if it's relevant for you, because if it's not yours, you cannot even change it. But just looking at a situation, like something is going on, or something explosive happens, like somebody gets really angry with you, or there's this thing at work, you can ask, hey, what is this? What is this really? What's going on here? If this isn't what it looks like, then what is it really? So that's number 2. Now we're going to go to number 3, which is the mantra of access consciousness. And it's all of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Say this one 10 times a day and see what shows up. But when you look at all of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory, the thing that shows up, instead of going into the wrongness, you ask, what's right about this I'm not getting? Or what if this thing that is showing up, instead of asking what's wrong with me or what's wrong with this, like what's the strength? What if your wrongness is actually a strongness? What if it's actually a capacity? What is something that is showing up for you and that is always in your way? What if you would look at it from a different angle and it would actually be a capacity? In a way, for all of life to come to you with ease, joy, and glory is just to, like we said at number 2, don't conclude, always ask a question. What's going on here? And what is the gift underneath all of this that I'm not yet seeing? And the last one that I wanted to discuss is number 4, getting out of judgment. And getting out of judgment sometimes seems the most difficult thing to do for people, when in fact, my interesting point of view is that it's pretty easy. All you have to do is destroy and uncreate all of the judgments. You destroy and uncreate all of the judgments, or what a better thing would be is all of the projections, expectations, separations, judgments, and rejections that you have of yourself or of this thing or whatever that is. You revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of that. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, on ice shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. And that was the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. If you don't know the clearing statement, you can go to theclearingstatement.com. I will put a link in the notes. So getting out of judgment. So what is judgment? Many times people think judgment is like a negative opinion. Judgment is neither good or bad. It's neither positive or negative. A judgment is a judgment. So even a positive judgment is a judgment. And it stops the creation. And the way that I see it is that the energy of judgment that is projected on us, it touches our molecules. Whenever this energy of judgment touches the molecules, our molecules lose their beautiful shape. And that doesn't make us feel good. Just imagine that all of the molecules in your body, and our body consists of 70% water. Imagine that all those molecules are misformed, out of shape. They're not their beautiful star shape that they're supposed to be. So getting out of judgment of you would help change that. And another way of getting out of judgment is to let everything just be an interesting point of view. Every judgment, every opinion, every point of view of somebody else is just an interesting point of view. And even your own point of view. So what if your opinion or your judgment is just an interesting point of view? And the way that we go about that is, so interesting point of view, I have that point of view. And just say that sentence a couple of times, interesting point of view, I have that point of view, and it will change the energy. And if somebody else has a point of view, oh, interesting point of view, they have that point of view. Interesting point of view, they have that point of view. And it shifts the energy, and it allows you to sort of move out and be the observer of what is happening. And instead of letting it touch you and let it get to you, you are able to move back and observe and go like, all right, well, that's an interesting point of view. They don't like me. Oh, interesting point of view. They have that point of view. Or I don't like what I've done. Or I don't like what that person has done. Well, that's an interesting point of view. I have that point of view. I have an opinion about somebody's behavior. Interesting point of view. I have that point of view. Interesting point of view. I have that point of view. And just try it a couple of times and see what happens. It has created miracles with me. So yes, the infinite possibilities with access consciousness. And again, this is not about letting you know what is great about access consciousness. It's not about that. It's about using the tools and being able to use them in every area of your life. Even if you have questions about things that you've learned, like, does this really work for me? You can take pieces of different things that work for you. You know, there's not just one way, there are infinite ways. And for me, the tools of access consciousness, by just asking a question and, you know, having the access mantra, the definition of consciousness, and just being interesting point of view, has helped me so much to not get stuck in the judgment or get stuck in an opinion whether something is the right way to do it, or, you know, the right technique or a good technique, or whatever it is. Whatever works for you works, and what works for somebody else may not work for you, or vice versa. So play with it and see what shows up for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to see you next time. Bye-bye.